Well, that's as angry as I've been over a hockey game in a while, and the end result was actually good. Avs win over the Buffalo Sabres 6-5 in overtime. Forgive me for being brief for the first portion of this game. There's a couple of reasons for that. The biggest one being all the stuff happened in the third period, but also the Avs just didn't play very well through the first two periods. The first period was okay, but they didn't get any good results. In the second period, there were stretches where they played actively poorly and had things not go their way. The Avs give up 2 goals in the first period, which you'll see here. Buffalo on the power play here, they're just kind of doing normal stuff. Pretty good high danger chance there in the middle against the Avs, and ultimately a failed clear here is what sets up the disaster, but this is a typical Avs bad penalty kill. You're going to see just poor coverage on denying pucks into the most dangerous area of the ice. It's the Avs' Achilles heel for their penalty kill all season. Taves caught in the middle here. He's ultimately going to commit to the puck carrier enough to where Makar is a little bit caught in between, but he just needs to do a better job on challenging the player at the top of your crease. The most dangerous area of the ice, Makar does not effectively do anything to prevent this goal. The Avs are breaking into the zone here, and on the commit, you have Nathan MacKinnon trying to slide it to the middle with Josh Manson fully sending it. Now, Josh Manson crashes into the net here. It's chaos, and he's ultimately behind the play. So as the Avs are recovering, you need a forward to be responsible and essentially be the defenseman here. That doesn't happen at all. Mikko tries to pull up and pinch in on this along the boards, and you see Nathan MacKinnon also change his momentum and try to play this puck getting deep in the zone. When he doesn't make an effective play on it, all 3 Avs forwards flat-footed, and Buffalo in possession are just gone. Mikko's not able to keep up with his play. It's a clean 2-on-1, and it ends up in the back of your net. Not good. The penalty kill would ultimately have a rough time on the night, going over 2, essentially. I guess technically they killed one that was interrupted. It was a mess. Penalty kill wasn't good. All right, we'll leave it at that. And the penalties themselves, also not great from the Avs. So they set themselves up for failure in the first period. It looked like they had gotten a goal back pretty early in the second off of a very fortunate bounce, but the Avs were offside. They were offside. That's the rules. It's fine. Might be a dumb rule, but that's the rules. So instead of it being 2-1, it's still 2-0, and Buffalo would score next to make it 3-0. Almost exactly the same as Buffalo's first goal on the power play here, except for mirrored. This time it's Makar, the man stepping out down low to challenge any pucks, and it's Devon who's supposed to cover the net front guy. It's both of their faults, right? On both of these goals, it's both of their faults. You either want Makar to intercept this pass, or you want Taves to do a better job body positioning against the more dangerous player. Neither of those things happen. It gets through Makar clean. Taves just accepts the loss of position and then doesn't do anything effective with his stick to stop the goal. This game might as well have been a giant flashing sign that if you want to have a successful power play against the Avs, put a guy at the top of the crease and throw the puck there because the Avs are struggling to cover it. Thankfully, the Avs do get one of those goals back in the second period because Cale Makar is really good. The Avs are going to get set up here, and they do this a lot, which does confuse hockey teams. Taves is the man working in deep down low. This is Jonathan Drouin up high. It can mess with defensive structure, especially if you're marking guys in a certain way. So a little give and go from them, and Drouin ultimately leaves it for Makar. Taves gives a little bit of cross to give Makar a little bit more room. Makar walks into it, absolutely works magic, and then puts an unbelievably good shot. Remember, this is a defenseman. Just roof it. Why not? And not much else to say about the first 40 minutes of this game. The Avs did get a power play late in the second that was ugly. That's not good. And it did not look like a great game. But things got very interesting in the third period. And before we get to the nonsense, the Avs do make it a 1-goal game just 1 minute into the third. Avs get a puck in deep. A good little pinch there ultimately keeps the play alive as it works down in and below the boards. And the Avs just kind of outwork Buffalo on this play. You're able to get it free. An initial attempt in front does not work for Lehkonen, but it comes back behind the net and they're able to reset. Gerard is going to try to fire one through. He actually hits Colton with this puck. It does not go into the net, but Colton is able to collect it, find it, and finish it to get the Avs within 1. So yeah, a game where the Avs have not played very well and things haven't seemed to go their way, but they're still in it and still battling. And then the thing happens. Let me just show you the play to start. All right, nothing on this play matters before this moment. You're going to see Wedgwood sitting in his crease. And yes, absolutely, Zach Benson gets pushed in here. This is not Zach Benson's fault. I'm not trying to insinuate that. But as this play develops, the puck comes out from behind the net. They're going to disentangle. Benson's still on the ground here. And at this point, it's pretty clear to me that Scott Wedgwood is hurt, right? He's injured, lying in his crease, curled up in the fetal position. He is not okay. The play continues to develop from here. The Avs do not get possession. Fair enough, but this is not an imminent scoring chance either. This puck is in behind the net, there is no goal that is about to happen here, and if the Avs had a healthy goalie, this likely wouldn't even be a dangerous play. At this point, the ref still hasn't looked, but right about here, he is now staring at a goalie injured in his crease as Benson is coming around behind the net. He continues to stare at this goalie as he hops on the net to get out of the way of Benson, which is fine. Refs are supposed to get out of the way of the play. My problem is he's staring at a clearly severely injured player and not blowing the whistle. And because he doesn't blow that whistle, the puck is in his net. And he calls it a goal. It's crazy. Yeah, that goal counted. And I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. Plenty of people have looked up the rule. Here's a tweet from Megan Angley, my former coworker, that says, in the case where it is obvious that a player has sustained a serious injury, the referee and or linesperson may stop the play immediately. 1, that happens all the time. It happened earlier in this game. It happens every handful of games. We see it happen pretty regularly. 2, if Scott Wedgwood isn't seriously injured on that play, what is a serious injury? What possibly could constitute a serious injury if that's not one? 3, the referee is literally staring right at him, so he knows it's become pretty clear that there's a serious injury. And number 4, this is just me personally, what are we doing? Hockey isn't that important. It's not. A person's well-being is significantly more important than a hockey game, particularly a hockey result. The Avs especially are particularly aware of this issue, as the reason that part of the rule was written in there is because of an Avs play where Matt Calvert got hit in the face with a puck and was actively bleeding on the ice while the team was scoring a goal. This is ridiculous. There is no universe where that play shouldn't have been blown dead, and there's no universe where that goal should have counted. I think if you ask the Buffalo players, they would probably even agree. If you want to see me be really mad about it, go look at my watch-along reaction or listen to the conversation we had about it on the podcast, but I can't keep talking about this, so we have to move on. It's a 4-2 game. Scott Wedgwood is probably seriously hurt. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looked, but it looked really bad. And the refs knew it too, because Jared Bednar straight up did a spite challenge. He knew he wasn't going to win it, but he was just mad. Literally, that's what he said. And the refs end up calling 2 consecutive penalties on Buffalo after that to set up what was eventually a 5-on-3 situation where the Avs get that goal back. The Avs on this 5-on-3 work it in deep. It was kind of an awkward situation. McCarr broken his stick, so he wasn't up high, but that is definitely some defense on a 5-on-3. Buffalo has 2 guys behind their own goal line. That's pretty deep, so this is not a particularly difficult pass for McKinnon, and Mikko puts a little FU juice on that one-timer. To be honest with you, the Avs were obviously upset. They jumped on the Jared Bednar We're Mad wagon and they did something about it. Not just scoring that goal, but they were playing with their hair on fire and pretty much willing to do whatever Buffalo wanted. Arturi Lehkonen actively cross-checking dudes, even got sent to the box for it. They just evened it up. The Avs were laying hits left and right. The Avs were upset. All of that steam didn't really result in much, though, after the 4-3 goal. What ultimately happened is a play that almost certainly should have sealed the Avs' fate as losing this game. Puck back in the own zone for the Avs, both teams kind of changing. Middleton collects this puck. He does have someone challenging him fairly quickly here, but this is the NHL. You should be able to make this play. He does not make any sort of play at all, just gets completely owned and gives up possession cleanly to Buffalo. He follows this up by being completely lost on the ice, not recognizing that he needs to be covering a man at net front. That is the most dangerous player on the ice, and is slow to get over for 1, 2, 3 attempts for the Avs to get beat. It's a bad play. It's a bad play from your goalie, too. Even if it was called, is what it is. We're moving on. We get down to goalie pull time, and a thing that has genuinely never happened for me in an Avalanche game. The Avs actually come back from a 2-goal deficit thanks to the goalie pull. It starts with Cale Makar. I will say the angry Avs magically got really good at faceoffs. Wild thing that happened in this game. They won so many towards the end of this game. This one, they're able to get set up in the 6-on-5 situation, and ultimately there's nothing special here. Makar just shoots a puck as hard as he can, and it goes in the net. And look, after that goal, I did not believe the Avs were there. I didn't think it was going to happen, but with less than 7 seconds left, the Avs get the tying goal. It's going to be another one face-off for the Avs, and it creates an initial play that's super dangerous. Off of a poor Mikko shot, the bounce comes out to Makar, and he gets what is a good a quality opportunity as you're going to get, but he's not able to finish it. The Avs are able to collect the rebound, though, to give themselves another opportunity, and they go to a play that they probably overuse, but this time it works. With the extra man on the ice, you get a little bit of confusion in Buffalo's defense. They put 3 guys out high. A little bit weird. I guess I get it. You don't want Miga to shoot. You don't want Cale to shoot. But as this puck comes down to McKinnon, yeah, 2 guys, 2-on-2 in the front of your net area. So that means 1 guy, if you're going to go out and defend McKinnon, which, like, understandably, you probably should go defend that guy, but that means you're leaving 1 guy to defend 2. Drouin plays off of it perfectly, slides to the open ice that Buffalo's high defense has given him, and he puts a perfect shot to get the Avs tied in this game. That gets the game to overtime, and the Avs don't take long there to win it either. Firstly, it's a great defensive play from Taves in overtime. He just eats this guy up. Just dominates Tage Thompson, makes him look stupid, which gives him a clean breakaway, and Taves finishes it beautifully on the blocker side. From the minute that Scott Wedgwood got hurt, the Avs were the better team on a nuclear level. There was 1 mistake that ended up in the back of their net. The rest of that game was the Avs absolutely dominating. They were not going to take no for an answer from this one, and you know what? Good. That's a team that was mad, and that's a team that unleashed the full force of themselves in finding a way to win this game. And honestly, I loved it. Obviously, I hated the result of getting there, but to see them do that, amazing. I want to reiterate, the reffing was absolute trash tonight. There have been some bad reffing nights this year, but that was ridiculously unacceptable. Do better. As far as the Avs are concerned, you're perfect, and I love you. Change nothing. Absolutely no sympathy for Buffalo on this one. Goodbye. See you never. On the team front, I'm as confident as I've ever been in this Avalanche team for this season. On the injury front, knock it off with this shit. That's the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to the DNVR for all of our coverage. I'm Rudo, and yeah, go watch our podcast for more intense thoughts. I'm just done with this one.